Kampala, capital and largest city of Uganda. It occupies a series of hills at an elevation of about 3,900 feet, 1,190 meters, and is situated in the southern part of the country, just north of Lake Victoria. Kampala lies just north of Mengo, the capital of the Kingdom of Buganda in the 19th century. It was selected in 1890 by Capt. Frederick, later Lord, Lugard as the headquarters of the Imperial British East Africa Company. Lugard's fort on Old Kampala Hill remained the Ugandan colonial administrative headquarters until 1905, when it was moved to Entebbe. In 1962 Kampala, a municipality since 1949, became the capital of independent Uganda. Parliamentary and commercial buildings, industry, and residential areas are separated into sectors. Kampala is the capital and largest city of Uganda. The city proper has a population of 3,846,000 and is divided into the 5 political divisions of Kampala Central Division, Kawempe Division, Makindye Division, Nakawa Division, and Rubaga Division. Kampala's metropolitan area consists of the city proper and the neighboring Wakiso District, Mukono District, Mpigi District, Buikwe District, and Luweero District. It has a rapidly growing population that is estimated at 6,709,900 people in 2019 by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics in an area of 8,451.9 square kilometers, 3,263.3 square miles. In 2015, this metropolitan area generated an estimated nominal GDP of $13.80221 billion, constant US dollars of 2011, which was more than half of Uganda's GDP for that year, indicating the importance of Kampala to Uganda's economy. Kampala is reported to be among the fastest growing cities in Africa, with an annual population growth rate of 4.03%, by city mayors. Mercer, a New York-based consulting firm, has regularly ranked Kampala as East Africa's best city to live in, ahead of Nairobi and Kigali. Situated in the country's most prosperous agricultural section, Kampala exports coffee, cotton, tea, tobacco, and sugar. Although second industrially to Jinja, 40 miles 64 kilometers east-northeast, the city has numerous food, metal products, and furniture enterprises and a tractor assembly plant. It is the headquarters for most of Uganda's large firms and the chief market for the Lake Victoria region. Kampala has a technical institute and is the seat of Makerere University, which was founded in 1922 and became a university college in 1949 and a university in 1970. For many years it was the only such educational institution in East Africa. Kampala also has the Uganda Museum. The city is home to several mosques, including the White Kibuli Mosque, Hindu temples, and Christian churches, notably Namirembe Anglican Cathedral and Rubaga and St. Peter's Roman Catholic cathedrals. Kampala is the hub of the nation's road network and lies on the railway from Kasese to Mombasa, Kenya. It is also served by Port Bell, 6 miles 10 kilometers east, on Lake Victoria and by Uganda's International Airport at Entebbe, 21 miles 34 kilometers south-southwest. Pop. 2008 EST. 1,480,200. Kampala, the city of 7 hills, is the capital city of Uganda and is, by a very large margin, the largest city in the country. Kampala has been ranked the best city to live in East Africa ahead of Nairobi and Kigali by Mercer, a global development consulting agency based in New York City. Secondary to it, is Jinja to the east and Entebbe to the south. Kampala is in the south-central part of Uganda, near the northern shores of Lake Victoria. Kampala is the capital and largest city of Uganda. The city proper was estimated to have a population of 1,650,800 people on July 31, 2019 and is divided into the 5 boroughs of Kampala Central Division, Kawempe Division, Makindye Division, Nakawa Division, and Rubaga Division. Kampala is reported to be among the fastest growing cities in Africa, with an annual population growth rate of 4.03%, by city mayors. Kampala originally referred to only the present-day Old Kampala Hill, on whose summit Fort Lugard was located, and the initial headquarters of the British colonialists in the soon-to-be Uganda Protectorate. Before the British construction and occupation of Fort Lugard, the hill was a hunting reserve of the Kabaka, king, of Buganda, and had several species of antelope, especially the impala. As a result, when the British colonial agents were allocated this hill by the then Kabaka, king, of Buganda, they referred to it as the Hill of the Impala. The city of Kampala covers a total area of 189 square kilometers, 73 square miles, comprising 176 square kilometers, 68 square miles, of land and 13 square kilometers, 5.0 square miles, of water. Kampala is a hilly place with its valleys filled with sluggish rivers/swamps. The highest point in the city proper is the summit of Kololo Hill at 1,311 meters, 4,301 feet, located in the center of the city, and the lowest point at the shores of Lake Victoria south of the city center at altitude of 1,135 meters, 3,724 feet. Kampala has a tropical rainforest climate under the Köppen-Geiger climate classification system. A facet of Kampala's weather is that it features two annual wetter seasons. While the city does not have a true dry season month, it experiences heavier precipitation from August to December and from February to June. However, it's between February and June that Kampala sees substantially heavier rainfall per month, with April typically seeing the heaviest amount of precipitation at an average of around 169 millimeters, 6.7 in, of rain. This area of numerous hills and swamps that later become known as Kampala was part of the core of the highly centralized Buganda Kingdom. It was also the site of the shifting Kibuga, capital, of the different Bassa Kabaka, kings, of the Buganda Kingdom, with each Kabaka, king, upon coronation or subsequently during their reign setting up their Kibuga, capital, on a new and or different hill as they wished or desired. The first written description of this Kibuga, capital, was by the explorer Richard Francis Burton in his book, The Lake Region of East Africa, published in 1860. In the book, Burton, relying on the information collected by Snay bin Amir, an Arab trader, described the Kibuga as, "The settlement is not less than a day's journey in length, the buildings are of cane and rattan. The Sultan's, Kabaka, palace is at least a mile long, and the circular huts neatly arranged in a line are surrounded by a strong fence which has only 4 gates." In 1862, when explorer John Speck arrived in Buganda, the Kibuga, capital, was at Bandabarago, present-day Bunda Hill, and the reigning Kabaka, king, was Mutsai. In 1875, explorer Henry Morton Stanley reported the capital as being at present-day Luweero Hill, where he met the same Kabaka Mutsai. During this visit, Henry Stanley Morton wrote a letter that was published in the Daily Telegraphy, inviting missionaries to come to Buganda. By plane, when coming to Kampala by air, you will actually arrive in the city of Entebbe, 35 kilometers 22 miles southwest of Kampala. By rail, discussions on improving the railway service within Uganda has dragged on for years. While semi-high-speed rail is expected to arrive by the mid-2020s, the current 100-year-old network is in a dilapidated state. As of the early 2020, the only active line from Namib in the eastern suburbs of Kampala. The national operator Uganda Railways Corporation has promised to launch intercity trains, but nothing have materialized so far. There are 3 methods of public transport: bodabodas, matatu, and special hires. By bodaboda, the fastest and most dangerous method is the bodaboda, motorcycles that you see all over the city. You won't be in Kampala long before being propositioned by a boda driver. Bodabodas got their name from the bicycle taxis that operated at some of the busy border crossing points. Buses had to discharge their passengers at the exit border control, who then had to walk to the entry border control. By matatu, matatus are a series of mini buses that follow relatively preset routes all over the city and many other parts of the country. Confusingly, they are known as taxis in Uganda. It might be a bit confusing in the beginning how to use the matatu to efficiently get where you want to go, but it's really not so difficult. By special hire, if you aren't up for the thrill of the botus and don't have time for a matatu, taxis, also called special hires, are readily available at most central locations. A few taxis have meters, but most have not. Be sure to agree on the fare before you get in the car or you may be in for a nasty shock. By car rental, several agencies offer car rental, with or without driver. While self-driving in Kampala may not seem tempting, car rental is a great option to explore the rest of the country. Upon request, most businesses can get you safely out of Kampala before handing over the keys. By city bus, large city buses that run on fixed routes. This mode of transport is still limited, but some buses run along Jinjia Road, which has some designated bus stops. All the city buses start at Constitutional Square on Kampala Road. Attractions, what to see. National Theatre, Uganda National Cultural Centre, De Winton St, next to Parliament, a big cultural centre with a theatre that also hosts dance shows/lessons/events, comedy, movies, concerts, jam sessions, improv, and discussion nights. The current program can be found at the entrance or online. There's also a library, a restaurant, and a large African crafts village with dozens of shops selling souvenirs, crafts, and also some stuff that is more artsy than all the stuff you can find everywhere else. Worth visiting. Namo Gallery, Victoria Ave, next to State Lodge, 400 m north-northwest from Sheraton Hotel, Uganda's National Art Gallery. Spacious, green oasis in the middle of the city with art exhibitions, paintings and sculptures that can be bought, and 2 restaurants frequented by government employees. Uganda Museum, Uganda National Museum, Kira RD, 4 kilometers north of city center, to the west of Kololo Hill behind the golf course, a natural history museum, with some static displays commencing from the Stone Age and moving forward to Ugandan traditional life. Uganda National Mosque, big, beautiful modern mosque commissioned by Muammar Gaddafi, the ex-Libyan despot, as a gift to Uganda and completed in 2007. Said to be second largest in sub-Saharan Africa. Great, relatively close-up bird's-eye view of Kampala from up the minaret, though there are a lot of steps to climb. Just to the north of the mosque is Fort Lugard, where the first governor of the protectorate, Frederick Lugard, was posted. USH 20,000 to go inside and up the minaret with a guide. Baha'i Temple, Baha'i House of Worship, Kakea Hill, 8 kilometers north of city center, probably best to take a boda or taxi, beautiful and incredibly peaceful place. Nice view too. Kajubi Tombs, Sikabeka's Tombs, Kajubi Hill, 5 kilometers northwest of city center along Hoima RD, burial ground of 4 Kabekas, kings, of Buganda and important place for the Baganda people. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Nearly completely destroyed in a 2010 fire, but largely reconstructed with foreign aid. Wamala Tombs, 14 kilometers 30 minutes northwest of city center along Hoima RD, take Matatu to Nanzana, then Boda, tombs where the remains of some of the earlier Buganda kings were buried, including Kabekasu Yuna 11, 1836 to 1856. During his time he had 148 wives and produced 218 children. The single tomb building was also completely destroyed by fire in 2012, and has now been reconstructed. Meaning there are no original tombs left in the city. Namirambe Cathedral, Buwama, Namirambe Hill, on hill 1 kilometer west of Gaddafi Mosque, by European standards, a small Anglican cathedral. Not very interesting of itself, but some views of the city. This is the 5th Namirambe Cathedral in Kampala, built around the time of WW1, after the 4 first were outgrown, blown down, nearly eaten by termites, and struck by lightning. St. Mary's Cathedral, Rubaga Cathedral, Luweero Hill, 1 kilometer west of Mengo Hill. Another cathedral, Catholic this time. Luweero, Mango Palace, Mango Hill, large empty hill 1 kilometer south of the city center, seen from most places. Royal compound of the Kabaka/King. Historically significant place, but not much to see. The original Luweero was destroyed in 1966 when Milton Obote took power and the Kabaka fled the country. To the west along the Luweero Ring Road is Kabaka's Lake, a man-made body of water ordered by King Mwanga of Buganda that you can walk around or canoe in, but, there's a little bit of a stink problem from sewage going directly into it. Parliament of Uganda, Parliament Avenue, from the taxi parks walk east along Kampala/Entebbe RD until you reach Parliament Abe. Designed to represent the whole country and with visitors/tourists in mind, e.g., look at the gate with the symbols of Uganda's different tribes or the giant carved wood art covering the lobby walls. Independence Monument, Spec RD/Nile Abe, between Grand Imperial and Sheraton hotels. Small monument, but of large symbolic importance. Sri Sanatan Dharma Mandal Temple, Tensneh Ben Amir Rise, a long-standing Hindu temple in Kampala where the emphasis is on Lord Shiva. Uganda Martyrs Catholic Shrine Namugongo, Nalyana Mugongo RD, about 9 miles from Kampala CBD, shrine to the 32 men who were burned to death on order of King Mwanga II of Buganda in 1886 for refusing to renounce Christianity back in turbulent colonial times. Thank you for watching this video.